So what is rejection sensitivity dysphoria, you ask? Okay. Rejection sensitivity dysphoria, for example, let's say a coworker comes to you and says something about your work, something about your appearance today. Fine. A normal person will be like, oh, what a jerk. Or, oh yeah, I recognize that. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Or simply don't even mind. If you have ADHD, if you have RSD, okay, and let me tell you one thing, as far as I know, you don't have to have ADHD to have RSD, okay? I'm not a doctor, like I say, but that's what I heard. If you have RSD, you will not forget this. You will take it the wrong way. You will internalize that as an attack, and you will actually come to even hate the person who said that. Meanwhile, that person is at home, sleeping or drinking a beer, not even thinking about you anymore. And there you are in your bed, you can't even sleep, okay? Thinking about this thing. Then coming to work every day, it's a nightmare, okay? Because you have to see this guy every day. And the problem is that since that problem is going on, everything that comes out of his mouth is just gonna aggravate what happened earlier. And it's not your fault. It's not even his fault or her fault. It's called rejection sensitivity dysphoria. We take things harder than what they really are. Okay? We take things the wrong way. Let me give you another example. Rejection sensitivity dysphoria is one of the reasons why I haven't even made this video before. Because of trolls, because of me just being insecure that people will probably make fun of me, or people will just be harsh on me or whatever. And I actually in the past have done some videos on some other stuff, and some people just gratuitously, okay, just went and made a comment that was so vicious, so stupid, so moronic, that I should not have paid attention to that. But to this day, I remember them, and that held me back. That held me back for such a long time. But since I actually had ADHD, well, you're born with it. And some people will say, no, you're not born with ADHD. BS. You do. Okay? We'll talk about that some other time. That held me back for such a long time. And then I realized that in classic ADHD fashion, I just lost my train of thought. Either way. Either way, the thing is that comments in the past has been the reason why I have not done a channel. I have not get myself out there. And guess what? I turned 51 years old last summer, 2021. This is 2022 right now, January. And I got to the point that I don't really care about what anybody think about me. No, not really. Because nobody here validates me. Nobody here pays my bills. Nobody here do anything for me. Okay? So I know my own value. I don't have anybody to tell me if I am wrong or right. I just know my value. But that's something for some other day. Another example of RSD. And like I said, I'm in my patio, and this patio just came alive. Like, there's dogs and everything now. Another RSD situation. When I was a kid, and I never actually say this before in front of a camera, but I'm gonna say it now. When I was a kid, I had what I thought was a humongous set of teeth. My kids were my fellow students back in my hometown will make fun of me. It was the 70s, and in the 80s it was not even any better. It took me such a long time to realize, look at myself in the mirror and say, what are you talking about? I mean, they might be a little bit bigger than average. They might be a little bit coming out because I have a bit of an overbite. But they made me feel like what I had on my face was a bear trap. They made me feel like they called me Bugs Bunny. They called me a lot of names. And that's a very immature thing to do. And guess what? I'm not gonna say where I come from right now, but where I come from, people is big on doing that kind of crap. They just make fun of everybody. And you hear that? And for a long time, that actually held me back, because I felt ugly. I felt that I was, I don't know, that I was just not like everybody else. And that actually affected me pretty much more than half of my life. Okay, did you hear those kids? Did you hear that? When I was a kid, when I went to school, I thought that those laughs were directed at me. Impossible, because they didn't even notice I was coming maybe a mile away, and I could hear them from a mile away. They could not possibly see me, but I always thought that they were laughing at me. And to this day, I actually don't like to be around small kids a lot, because that's kind of a remnant thing, and kids are very sincere. They tell you whatever. So I'm afraid of that sincerity a little bit. But I came to understand that, you know what, this is you. This is who you are, and you have to accept yourself the way you are. And moreover, you have to love yourself the way you are. This is the deck of cards you have. I used to have my hair short because of my work. I'm trying it to grow. I'm trying to grow in my hair all the way over here, and it will, but gotta give it time. I'm very happy and grateful that I have such a nice hair. It's nice to me at my age. Not a lot of white hair. It's not falling. So I'm glad on that. So I'm lucky in a few things. Another thing I wanted to touch base, and like I said, this is unscripted. I actually never done a video for this channel, like a long video like this. And it's gonna go unedited because I know myself. And one of the things we're gonna talk about later is that if I start editing the video too much, it will take forever to come out, and it will not come out. I actually have a video of a mug that I bought, and I have all the pieces. I just need to put those pieces together. Haven't done it in months. So this video is getting right on the air, raw, nothing. And hopefully you guys can appreciate it that way. And I learned from a lot of other YouTubers. This community is great. If you just got notice that you have ADHD and you're new here, welcome. Hopefully you subscribe, because there's a lot of good stuff coming up. I'm a nice guy, But I saw some other videos, this community is great because there is a lot of acceptance. There is not a lot of judgment. There's no judgment. I don't see anybody judging anybody. I see people from all walks of life, and we have something that unites us, and it's our neurodivergence. And neurodivergence means that we are not neurotypical. We have a divergence on our minds, and that makes us different. We work different. We are literally inside, we're built different. Last thing I want to talk about is another example of rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Say that you, and this is probably one of the worst parts of rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Say that you're in love, and you fall in love with this girl. And let me tell you, another thing we're going to talk about later, it's actually on my name, you can see it, is hyper focus. Okay, hyper focus and hyper fixations. We zero it on a lot of things, and we can actually shut out the whole world. Okay, just concentrate on this one thing. Everything else is to assist or matter, and it's called hyperfocus. We can actually go on to some kind of project and spend 8 hours there. We'll have no concept of time. When you have ADHD, time is just time. Okay, when you're hyper focusing on something, time doesn't matter anymore. Time measuring doesn't matter anymore. So let's say that you fall in love, and for better or for worse, usually for worse, that person gives you the fatal line, "Oh, I love you like a friend." Well, chances are, if you have RSD, you're gonna take this hard. If that girl actually ends with you, and that girl actually one day leaves you, or say that she wants to break out with you, oh my God. The breakouts, rejections and breakouts are the worst things for us because we have rejection sensitivity dysphoria. It's very hard to move on when you have that kind of thing going on in your life. Okay? So what can you do about this? What can you do about rejection sensitivity dysphoria? Because what am I gonna do? Talk about this and not give you any kind of tips or solutions? That will be stupid. So let's give you something that will probably help you out. What is this? Should use my real camera for this, not my phone. These iPhones are like ridiculous. Oh, you see what I just did there? We get distracted very easily. Okay, that's why they say this. We are like squirrel thing. Okay. What can you do? Know your enemy. If you know that you have rejection sensitivity dysphoria, it just gives you time to stop and say, should I really take this personally? Should I really feel like this is some kind of offense towards me? And think about it. Do that person really have something against you? Do that person have something to gain by being mean to you? Is that person regularly being mean to you? Because that's a thing too, and it's called bullying. Okay, and there's nothing worse than a bully. But bullies are always, you know, for the most part, bullies are actually hurting inside. We'll talk about that some other time. So what do you do? There's a book called, and I highly recommend this book, by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's called The 4 Agreements. The 4 Agreements is a fantastic book. Again, by Don Miguel. I just say the name. Don Miguel. Find it. I just say it and I forgot. Did you see how that ADHD is? The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz is actually a pretty nice book. And one of the things that says is that you cannot take anything personally. Okay? We'll talk about that profoundly later. I might do a review of this book. Don't take anything personally. Because when you take things personally, it's like, okay, the book actually mentioned an example. The book says somebody can actually get a gun pointed at your head and shoot. It was never about you. It was about that other person. You somehow violated some kind of standard this person had. You somehow probably were kind of a danger or a threat to this person, and that's why this person shoot you. But it was not because of you as a person. It was not personal. So the person who offends you at work, if you can't, talk to them. Talk to them. Tell them how you feel. 99.9% of the time, that person didn't even know that they offended you. And guess what? That person could actually be some person with ADHD. Because one thing that we do is that we talk without thinking. That's an ADHD thing. Okay? And like I say, from ADHD to ADHD, the call is local. So this is the thing. If the person who offended you is your friend, talk to them. If the person who offended you is a coworker, talk to them. You don't feel like doing that? Talk to your supervisor in private. Okay? But don't go to bed thinking about these things. It will make your life miserable. Don't spend any time thinking about this. Fix it right there on the spot. That's the way to get rid of that. Okay, the breakup thing. That's way harder. Okay? In my particular case, it can last years. Okay? And I'm arriving to 20 minutes on this. I'm not gonna edit it, so I'm gonna try to keep it at 20. Here's the thing. There's some things when you have a breakup that will function as triggers. The way you can actually get over a breakup is to erase everything from your mind about that other person. If you work with her, tough luck. You might want to find another job if it's so hard for you to leave, to move on. Another thing you can do to move on is find somebody else. Just find somebody else. And they say one nail takes another nail out. Just find somebody else. And as a rule of thumb, at work, no, don't hook with anybody at work. There's a saying that goes like this, something like, don't go and get the meat where you go and get the bread. Okay? So, by all means, try not to hook up with anybody at work. But if it happens and there's a breakup, that's a problem because you're going to have to see this person every day now. So, what do? Tough luck. Tough luck. That's you might want to have another job. You might want to go get another job or get a transfer somewhere else. Because honestly, that's gonna be a pickle. That's gonna be a hard situation right there. But if you don't have that kind of situation, grab your phone. All those songs that you have that reminds you of that person, take them off your phone. If you have places that you used to go with her, don't go to those places. Pictures of her, gone. Accounts on social media, out. Erase all of that, okay? And I'm talking about us guys, but of course, I'm trying to be like neutral, okay? Every person who has this problem can do this. Just try to erase that person from your mind. If you go to the same church or the same places, stop going there. If it's killing you, don't be a sucker for punishment, man. Okay? Don't be like, you remember that? You probably don't. That Kurt Cobain song that says, I miss the comfort in being sad. That line is very close to home, by the way. Okay? Because all the things I'm talking to you about is because I've been going through them. Okay, like I said, I'm not a doctor or counselor. I'm just talking out of experience. That's my dog. I wonder what that is. Anyway, yeah, I think we covered pretty much this. Just if you want to leave me a comment and ask me, I don't know if I'm gonna be checking comments here. You can actually try and reach me at my Instagram. My Instagram is ADHD.hyperfocus. Okay, and my name is Mike Aguilo, so you can search for me on those. I'm gonna try and tag a link on this video, and you can actually go there and follow me, hopefully, and then just send me a direct message with your question, and I will answer to the best of my knowledge. I am here to help. Literally, the only reason why I'm here is to pay forward to the person who actually, to the people who actually have helped me in the past. And I had learned from so many people here, and I'm gonna mention a couple of them right now before I leave. Molly ADHD Mayhem was one of the first person I saw. This page called How to ADHD with Jessica McCabe. Did I pronounce that right? She is fantastic. She's probably the first person I saw. My good old friend Johnny at Go ADHD Go. If you go, I'm not saying TikTok, don't. TikTok is a nightmare for ADHD people. I'm there, and you can find me with the same way, but honest to goodness, it's just way too many distractions. It's like Pinterest. Pinterest is crack for ADHD people. But you can find so many good people on Instagram. It's crazy. Forget about Facebook. Facebook is not even good anymore. Instagram, we have Dr. Sasha. I keep forgetting her actual. I think she's the ADHD doctor or something. I keep forgetting her handle. You have people like Kobe Watts. You have people like my memory is so bad. I'm sorry. I have so many good friends. And I know them by names, which is funny because then when I have to talk about them, it's very hard for me. But I have this friend called Megan, and she is autistic and ADHD, and she made the funniest videos ever. Let me see if I can talk to her in the comments or or maybe. Anyway, this is the 25-minute mark, so thank you. Please subscribe.